If you are looking at a car in the price bracket of 30 to 40 lakhs, chances are that your options might be limited. Because at one end, where you have diesel all-wheel drive SUVs like the Citroen C5 Aircross and the Jeep Compass along with the Hyundai Tucson, when you look at the petrol spectrum, there are only two options left, the Hyundai Tucson and the Volkswagen Tiguan. These are the most popular options which we are going to be comparing today. Let's see which one has the edge. Now both these SUVs follow a different design language altogether. While the Tucson offers a more sleek and a modern looking design, the Tiguan is tilted more towards a muscular looking vehicle, just like the other Skodas and VWs in the stable. Now in terms of length, width and wheelbase, the Tucson has an edge over here, whereas the height of both these cars is the same. The advantage that the Tiguan has over here are in the form of ground clearance and the quality of wiper used. Now the Tiguan has a slightly higher ground clearance of about 19 mm, so this stands at 200 mm, whereas the Tucson stands at around 181 mm. The Tiguan also features like a frameless wiper, which are also called as aero twin, and these have a better cleaning quality as compared to the Tucsons. So the Tucson features a regular framed wiper which is available on cheaper cars as well, and I hope at least with the facelift which is coming soon around next year, Hyundai introduces those wipers. Now talking about antenna, both the cars get a shark fin antenna which looks sleek, and talking about the key, both these cars feature lock, unlock and boot opening buttons, whereas the Tucson goes a step further by offering you the option of a remote engine start from which you can start the car with the help of your key. And talking about the spare tire, the Tucson has a disadvantage over here because it is the shorter one along with one size lower, whereas the Tiguan, although being a thinner one, it offers the same size spare tire, which is an R18 inch alloy wheel. The Tucson gets a 17 inch spare wheel, so that is the disadvantage. Talking about the headlamps, the Tiguan has a better set of headlamps because they work well during the night time, and they provide you with so much visibility that even you'll be confident like around driving at 100 and 120 kph at the night, whereas the Tucson won't give you that much of a confidence. And now both of them get roof rails, but they're fixed, unlike the Compass where you can adjust them as per your convenience. Now while both cars feature parking sensors at the front, the Tucson also goes ahead with a front parking camera which the Tiguan does not offer. The Tiguan and the Tucson get fog lamps, but they are halogen on the Tiguan, whereas they are LED on the Tucson. Again, talking about the rear profile of both these cars, both of them get a rear wiper and defogger, whereas the Tucson has a hidden wiper, so only when you turn on the wipers you can see them. That is not a disadvantage as such because that provides a car with a better look. The Tucson also gets a rear parking camera like the Tiguan, but the clarity of the Tucson is similar to that of the Tiguan. Now if you compare it spec to spec, the Tucson gets a 360-degree parking camera and the Tiguan gets a rear parking camera. Now both of them have good clarity, but the Tucson edges with the 360-degree camera, and that too offers good quality. So I think so if it was camera, the Tucson would be my pick. And talking about the rear profile of both these cars, both of them look nice at the rear as well, and both of them get rear parking sensors as standard. You also get a nice spacious boot on both these cars, whereas the Tiguan goes a step further over here because it gets 615 liters of boot space, whereas the Tucson gets 540 liters only. Both of them get electric tailgates, but it is the Tiguan which goes further with a foot swipe boot open option as well. Now both these cars come with 18 inch alloy wheels, and the Tucson has slightly wider tires as compared to the Tiguan over here. Talking about the side profile of both these cars, both of them get passive keyless entry on the driver side and the passenger side doors. Again, the Tucson has ORVM mounted cameras of it being a 360-degree parking camera. The Tiguan also gets another feature which most of the journalists do not cover, and this is an LED reversing light. So when you reverse the car, there's a light that appears. So that is white color, which is LED in the Tiguan, whereas the Tucson gets halogen parking lights. So in terms of the exterior, as I told you previously, it is the Tucson which has an advantage for those who are looking at a more nice and a more modern design, but talking about the muscle, it is still the Tiguan which retains it. Now, just like the exterior of both these cars, the interior too is different and they follow a different philosophy altogether. While the Tucson has a more tech-laden and futuristic interior, the Tiguan focuses on a more simplistic design towards its interior as well. Now, talking about the Tiguan's interior, the fit and finish and the quality is legendary Volkswagen, and you can see the German quality that is clearly evident in the Volkswagen Tiguan. Now, the Tiguan also edges ahead in terms of a few features, maybe not much as compared to the Tucson, but you get features like a 3-zone automatic AC, paddle shifters, gesture control, one touch up and down function for all the power windows, and you also get a heated steering wheel which is not available on the Hyundai Tucson. The Tiguan too has a more simplistic approach, as I told you previously, and the touch and feel of materials is slightly better than that of the Tucson. The Tiguan also offers very supportive seats, and the side support is fantastic, which makes it suitable for long journeys without any fatigue. The Tiguan also comes with additional features like fatigue alert, which the Tucson does not get. Also noteworthy is the fact that the Tiguan has got an update recently which has added features like a wireless charging, parallel park assist, and a new beige scheme for the interior. The Tiguan also gets the option of all-wheel drive with the petrol engine, whereas the Tucson does not get it with the petrol engine. The Tucson only offers all-wheel drive with the diesel engine option. Now, unlike the Volkswagen Tiguan, the Tucson has a more sophisticated interior. Now, the attention to detail is what is clearly impressive and stands out of the crowd, especially the knurled finish around the stalks like the wiper and the automatic LED headlamp stalk. The Tucson also edges ahead in terms of the feature list because it features 360-degree parking camera, blind spot monitor, and ventilated front seats, which is cooled, although both the cars offer a heating function. The Tucson also comes with ADAS level 2, which the Volkswagen Tiguan does not get. The Tiguan also gets only an ADAS level 1 function, which is parallel park assist, while the Tucson gets a suite of ADAS level 2 features like adaptive cruise control, automatic emergency braking, high speed alert, auto high beam, and many others. So in terms of the feature department, the Tucson has a clear advantage. The Tucson also gets useful features like boss mode, and both of the cars get seat recline at the rear as well. However, it is the Tucson which has a better recline angle as compared to the Tiguan. Also note that the Tucson gets a powered passenger seat which the Tiguan does not get. The Tucson and the Tiguan, both of them get driving modes and traction modes, but it is the Tucson which changes its color in the instrument cluster, and the theme also completely changes when you switch between the modes. Now, when you keep it in the normal mode, you get the regular setting of the digital instrument cluster. When you turn it into the eco mode, it turns blue, and when you turn it into the sport mode, it turns red. So that is a clear differentiator in the Hyundai Tucson, and it is really cool, especially for you to identify the various drive modes. Now, the Tucson also gets the option of various themes, especially for the music. For example, it gets forest music, light music, and various others. So these features are quite essential for few buyers. Now let us talk about the common features that are available on both the cars. Both the cars get the option of LED headlamps, LED tail lamps, and they also get the option of front and rear parking sensors. Both of them get 18-inch alloy wheels. They also feature electric tailgate, while the Tiguan goes a step further with the foot swipe boot open. Also unique to the Tiguan is the option of puddle lamps which light up during the night. Now, talking about the interior of both these cars, both of them get a digital instrument cluster. While the Tiguan and the Tucson get a 10-inch digital instrument cluster, the Tucson has a larger 10.25-inch touchscreen as compared to the Tiguan's 8-inch touchscreen. Both of them feature Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but it is not wireless. The Tiguan and the Tucson also get dual zone automatic AC in the front along with 64 color ambient lighting, and both of them feature heated front seats and a powered driver seat with a memory function. Both of them too get branded audio systems and they are having 8 speakers together. Now, the Tiguan and the Tucson also get voice assistant support. In terms of safety, both of them get 6 airbags, ABS with EVD, brake assist, ESC, and hill assist and descent control as well. Now, the Tiguan and the Tucson also get a panoramic sunroof which is huge, whereas the Tucson has a slightly thicker covering for the panoramic sunroof. Now, talking about other features that both the cars have, the Tiguan and the Tucson, both of them get passive keyless entry with push button start stop and an electronic parking brake with the auto hold function. Now, in order to fold the seats of both these cars, you get a lever which is placed in the boot, and also the Tiguan provides you the option of straps to pull the seats down. So this is a unique feature on the part of the Tiguan, maybe not useful but it is helpful in many cases. So these are a few of the features that both the cars have in common. Now, the rear seat of both these cars are very spacious, but if you are predominantly chauffeur driven, the Tucson is a better choice with the availability of more features like a Boss mode. The Tiguan also gets an extra feature which is 3-zone climate control or 3-zone automatic AC, where you can also control the temperature at the rear. So you can set 3 different temperatures in the car completely. So talking about the rear seat, the Tucson is the place where you can spend more time in because the rear seats are better cocooned for passengers. So Hyundai has played a smart move over here by improving the rear seat space by bringing the long wheelbase version of the Tucson to India. So this, I think so, is a clear advantage for the Hyundai Tucson. Now, let us talk about the powertrain that is available on both these cars. The Volkswagen Tiguan gets a 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine, which is a TSI motor. This produces 190 horsepower and 320 Newton meters of torque. Now, this comes mated to a 7-speed DSG or a direct shift gearbox. Now, this is quick shifting and it's a lightning fast gearbox. So those who are looking at enthusiasm and driving pleasure, the Tiguan is the better choice for them. Now, talking about the Hyundai Tucson, the Tucson gets a 2-liter naturally aspirated petrol engine which produces 152 horsepower and 192 Newton meters of torque. Now, this comes mated to a 6-speed torque converter automatic gearbox, and the Tucson is more for people who are looking at a relaxed drive rather than pushing the car. So the Tiguan is more for a performance oriented person, whereas a Tucson is more for a chauffeur driven person. The Tiguan also excels in the ride and handling department by having a subtle and a suppliant ride as compared to the Hyundai Tucson. So the bad patches of road are easier for the Tiguan to tackle. Now, talking about the verdict of both these cars, which car should you buy and why? Now, you have strong reasons for considering the Volkswagen Tiguan. It's completely German engineered, solid build quality, and it edges ahead in terms of the performance and the ride and handling department. It also does away with few more features as compared to the Hyundai Tucson. But in terms of the interior, in terms of the sophisticated look, in terms of the design, the Tucson has a clear advantage as compared to the Volkswagen Tiguan. It not only feels the most sophisticated car out of the two, but it is also the preferred choice of most customers. Now, which car should you consider between them? It is a personal choice again. If you are that person who enjoys driving and loves pushing the car to its limits, the Volkswagen Tiguan is the better choice for you. But if you like to be chauffeur driven and occasionally drive the car on the weekends, the Tucson is the better option. But if I were to pick, the Tiguan would be my choice. Thank you so much for watching and hope you liked this video. If you didn't like it, do give it a dislike, but please mention in the comments where we could improve. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for future updates. Thank you so much for watching.